It's Saturday, the 22nd of March, 2025. If you're watching live on YouTube, then it's 4 p.m. here in the UK. And if you're watching live on Rumble, then it's just after 9 p.m. here in the UK. And if you're not watching live, I don't know what time it is, but welcome along anyway to the channel, The Fifth Guardian. I'm your host for today, Tony Hunt, where I'll be player of games. But as always, it's not my story. It's not your story. Today's story is all about competing in multiple series within Real Racing 3 Update 13.2, and this is part 16 of that mini series. Now, today's going to be a little bit more relaxed. There's not a lot going on, but so we're having a bit of a chill session today, and the stream will probably only be about an hour long. But there's a couple of things to go through. So let's get on looking at the game. Now, before I do any racing, um, because I haven't, because we've been doing events all week, I'm going to start by going through um, cars that were on discount. Um, Now, the reason why I only see one is because if I go into the online multiplayer tournament, the other car to be on sale is the Morgan Plus 6. And as you can see, I've already taken that to 100%. And I suspect I took it to 100% when there was a better discount than 35%. I suspect there was either a 40, 45, or 50% discount. Now, generally speaking, I've been going, it's all about cost versus reward. But there comes a point where there isn't really much of a discussion about it. So, yet again, the upgrade on sale, it's only 35%. So if we look to this car, the other car that's on sale, which if I now go here, is the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. So if I go into the garage, you'll see there I've only got 21 of 28 upgrades applied, meaning I've got 7 upgrades to apply. Now there is an exclusive series to open up, and I believe that exclusive series can earn you 100 gold. And it's in the Deutsche Duel Free series in season 1. And I haven't got that to 100%. So I can earn 29 gold. Where does my car sit? It sits at 73.6. So there'd still be quite a bit of upgrading to be done. Now, immediately you can see there, I've effectively got 4 engines to apply. So I'm suspecting that'll end up being 2 gold and 2 R dollars. But the first upgrade is 114. 100, so just on this level, 114, 100, so that's 200. Let's call that 300, 400. So goodness knows what the other gold upgrade will be, but it's going to be more than 100. So you're looking probably at the very least 550 to 600 gold. So I'm going to give that a miss, especially as you're only going to get 100 gold plus 29 gold back. And really, this is then starts to become a struggle when the discounts are as low as 35%. Now, it might have been worthwhile doing, say, for example, the car had only one upgrade to apply. It's a little bit easier to justify that because assuming the reward was the same. But it's hard to justify spending that sort of money. So this week, I'm not going to be upgrading any of the cars. Now, as I said, in fairness, I've already got one car fully upgraded anyway. But the car that is in the weekly time trial, the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, I'm not going to touch. On the YouTube side, Ayaka Yokota says, "Hi, Mr. Tony. How are you doing today?" I'm doing very well, thank you very much. I'm feeling a little bit tired for a weekend, so I think early to bed tonight. Um, but yeah, other than that, very good. Thank you very much. I hope you are the same as well. Okay, so we haven't got much racing to do. Now, I guess before we actually start racing, we probably need to talk about the other thing that's in the game at this moment in time. There we go. Let's have a look. Is it the Sebring or the Sebring Raceway? Um, Now it's an early access event. So in other words, what that means is you get early access to the track, but at some point in the future, the track will be added to the game. And it explains what you get. But basically, you've got an opportunity of earning some additional gold, of which you're paying the honour for. Effectively, in the UK, it's £9.99, which I believe is about in US money $12.50 maybe, something like that. Now, again, it might be in the US, it might be $9.99 anyway, but yeah, here in the UK, it's £9.99. And not interested in the slightest. What I will say, if you look at the second paragraph there, it says it's available for purchase till the April the 11th and to play till April the 30th. So a number of you were thinking next release would have this track in. I don't think so. Um, the next release, I believe, is round about the 7th of April. So it wouldn't make any sense, the track being in next release on the 7th of April if you can still purchase it up until the 11th and still play in the track until April the 30th. So I suspect at the earliest this track will be in update 13.4 and not the next update, assuming that is 13.3. So I'm not going to be doing that, but you'll no doubt see as this came sort of like update came down last night. I'll go into the game and there'll be a number of updates. No doubt that throughout the game there'll be a number of promotions for me to purchase that. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing it. Not sure how this is going to go in terms of time trials, because effectively I've only got a car that isn't fully upgraded. So I haven't got unlimited time trials. I have to use one drive per time trial. I have already had a go, and I'm in Group D, which I think is probably about as good as I'm going to get for my racecraft with a car that isn't fully upgraded. I think I would feel very confident about getting into Group C if the car was fully upgraded. Nevertheless, let's let's see how we get on. Let's have a bit of racing. And Ayaka, who lives in the United States, has confirmed that early access price is $9.99. Yes, that's. I figured it might be. Right. So time trial. Now I do like this car, the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, but it is also very expensive, even when you've got a discount on it. Would really have liked to have seen a 50% discount. Now I'm going to be pushing this just a little bit too hard, I reckon. There we go. So, might be a little bit of going off track here, I think. Yeah. I did this yesterday. My first, this is obviously off screen. My first race I did like 4 seconds or 5 seconds worse than what was my current time. Then the next go, I actually drove quicker, but obviously I went off track. And then the third go, I blew it out the water and got a second quicker. Not sure what I'm going to do today. Now, the other thing I did yesterday as well, just to confirm, is I did set that fast time with brake assist set to low and I've gone off track. Completely ragged at the end. So again, that does show me overall, although my racing is improving with brake assist set to off, overall I can still set a faster time with brake assists set to low. But as with everything, it's trial and error, continuous improvement. Keep going. Carlos Guerra enters the chat on the YouTube side. Welcome back, Carlos. Good to see you again. Says hello, Tony. Hello back, Carlos. Always good to see you. And Shade Ya is in the chat as well. Says hello, dude. Welcome along to all of you. Right, let's do this again. Come on. And I'm off. Figured I would be. So I'm not going to mess around because I know. What I'll do is if this is the last one, I'll then do some online multiplayer racing, which I've not done any. And then we'll let the speed tokens build back up and have another go a little bit later on in the time trial. I can always tell when I'm sort of like hitting the limit of what I can do because I start skidding. I will say this car specifically, once you lose it, it's a lot harder to control with the traction set to off as well. I've noticed that about the car. It just flings itself around. But I've had a bit of a disaster there. I'm 2 seconds behind, and I've gone off track, so I've got an additional penalty. Whatever. So Carlos Guerrero has said that he thinks the multiplayer is very boring. Well, it's no Formula One, that's for sure. But we've got to give it a go, and we've got to get a gold for the week. Now, with getting into D, I have got 25 gold, which I'm okay about. Now, that's happened now for quite a few weeks. In fact, I believe 1 week I even got E 18 gold. Yeah, which isn't brilliant, but then I've just not had the opportunity of spending gold to upgrade the car to 100% and hopefully take it into Group C. And even though taking it into Group C, that would be another 25 gold, it still isn't worthwhile spending the money, so I'm not going to. Here we go then, multiplayer tournament. Current track is the National Circuit at Silverstone. That's yeah, that's not the best track. I'm umming and ahhing whether to start with a lower car to begin with. Let's start with that, just to begin with. Let's see how we get on. And then I'll move to the Morgan, and hopefully maximum. Look at that, you see. And boy, did I choose that right. I guess, Carlos, you mean boring because the cars have a lower PR, and so it's a little bit slow. Which, again, in terms of people with lower racecraft, it usually means there's a little bit more flexibility on errors. You know, you can auto-correct a slower car and not go off track. But I mean, look at this. Obviously, it's my first race of the day. I'm not using the top car yet, and I am ahead. I'm in first quite easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on using this car until I stop winning. Or to be more precise, if it's an 8-player race, stop earning points, and then I'll switch to the Morgan +6. Now again, I've not been doing as well as I've done in the past. The last few weeks I've been earning 8 gold, whereas my best has been 9 and 10 gold. So I kind of want to go back to those sort of gold earning capabilities, and I should be able to do it because I've got 2 of the cars fully upgraded. So Ayaka Yokotar puts the Bentley Continental GT Speed Limited Series will be available from this evening. So it might be this evening for yourself. For people in the UK, it becomes available at midnight. Now, I'm not going to do this one until Friday and Saturday. So tomorrow I'll be doing another multiple series racing. Again, it'll be another relatively short stream. On Monday, I'll do the Valor event. Tuesday, obviously, we've got a new time trial. We've got a new multiplayer tournament. And the day before, there'll be a new time trial competition. So on Tuesday, I'll go through those. And then on Wednesday, I'm not able to do a stream. So there'll be a roller coaster video. But Thursday, the one you've all been waiting for, the Fury event with the I can't even remember what the car is called. But yeah, with the car that's going to be absolutely painful. So Thursday is a date to put in your diaries if you want to see me suffer. I don't think I will suffer too much. I think all I'm going to do is just upgrade the car. But that still doesn't mean it will be easy. Okay, so I just went straight into doing another race. I just thought, you know what, let's get on with it. After this one, I'll come back out and see what point tally I've got and what gold I've got. Sunny 4D, welcome along in the YouTube chat, says hello there. Hello there back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for saying hi in the chat. Oh, hello, here we go. We're going to struggle. Somebody's already left. So I'm probably going to have to now go up to the Morgan because I just see all these guys overtaking me. Which for some reason hasn't happened yet. I'm sure it will. I can see them all. Here we go. So that car did not last long at all. Okay. We'll persevere because worst we can finish now is 6 because 2 people have left. And I'm not a million miles away, so all it takes is a couple of mistakes by some of the players up front. Sonny 4D asks, how are you? I am very well, sir. I hope you are too. There we go, 6. So this car won't be used again. Mm. So Carlos Guerra has put, I'm looking forward to the MP4X on the TTC, the time trial competition. It will be challenging for the clans people to try to get a good placement. Yeah, yeah. I do own both the cars, but I'm going to assume the MP4X will be quicker. I mean, how much of it? I've only lost 24 points there. That's not too bad. So I'll exit out. Mm. I'm showing as having 4 points. Um, it looks like I didn't get up to 5, but now if I race again and now select the Morgan plus 6 being fully upgraded, I'm sure we'll have a bit of success. Yeah, I do think the time trial competition will be very interesting. Okay. So I should win this because these cars, I believe, are slower. But I'm only in second at this moment in time. I do think because it's slower, people are in the habit of braking late, and I just think it's just taking your time. Remember what this is now. This isn't really racing against each other. It's a time trial. So you just got to focus on your own race and see where you end up. There we go. Nicely does it. All right, there we go. That's a win. Um, most of the other cars were not the Morgan plus 6, but there was a Morgan plus 6 in there. So I was 200 yards ahead of them. So potentially a bit of opportunity to up that gold. Fingers crossed it's gone up to at least 5. Is that somebody else? Somebody's off track there. Anyway, there we go. We've got first. Figured we would. 92 points. That's pretty good. That might put me on 6, you know. Almost. 5 points away from 6. Well, we've got to do the Silverstone again. It's not normally my favourite track, but yeah, it's working okay up to this point. I've actually had a couple of wins. Let's have another race. And obviously, with the car being fully upgraded, it does mean I've got double durability. And really, that is the big difference in both the online multiplayer tournaments and the time trials. Like if you do upgrade your car to 100%, you get double durability as well as unlimited time trials. This looks good again. This looks really good again. Though is just not to rush. This car isn't brilliant at handling, so brake early, accelerate out early. There we go. The two people have already left the race. There we go. I'll be in first in a minute. There we go. Oh, careful, careful. Didn't do that very well, so I'm going to drop to second. That didn't end well, did it? There's a real possibility of finishing fourth there. Sunny 4D puts my beard is cool. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say so. And Carlos puts in F1 multiplayer, I threw the car from one side to the other to provoke like zigzag. Many got fed up and ended up missing the curve because they paid attention to my car. Yes, I do notice it's frustrating trying to drive, and if you've got a car just in front of you, you can't see the track. So I can understand why that would annoy you, but you know that's just how it is, unfortunately. Aaron C. John enters the chat on the YouTube side and says hello. Hello, Aaron. Welcome along. Thanks for watching. Thanks for saying hi again. Welcome back. So I got 16 there. So that wasn't brilliant, but I do think that's taken me up to 6. There we go, 6 points. Well, we'll just go in. We might not get Silverstone. We'll have another go, though. Let's see how we get on. We'll be doing this again tomorrow. Throwing the car around the course or courses. Might be waiting a little bit of time while... oh, there we go. It's another 8-player race. Quite a few Morgan +6s, though. It looks like there are 3 cars that aren't, though. So that immediately tells me worst position is 5th. There we go, that's better. I got that right that time. The key with this particular track is you do need to get the acceleration out the corner right, because otherwise you pay all the way down the long straight. Like, look at this, I'm catching up on these guys because I feel like I got the acceleration right there. Didn't get that right though. Completely messed that up. Pushing a little bit too hard. Still in 3rd though. There you go. I think that's a little bit better, actually. I'll take third at this moment in time. There we go, third. I think I could have got second there, but I did mess up on one part of the track, and that cost me. But third should mean points, so can't complain too much. There we go. Confirmation of third. Let's have a look. So that will be only 26 points though. But that's not bad. There we go. There's an example of somebody in third place not scoring points. I'm going to exit out. Let's see where we sit. I still think I'm probably on 6 points. 21 points away from 7 gold. What's the state of the car like? Let's have a look. Oh, plenty of races left. Well, we'll just keep on going until the car needs servicing. At least it's a relatively good start, I'd say, to the multiplayer event. Like a couple more gold, though, than 6. Okay, so my immediate assessment is here is I'll finish at least 4th. I always get the braking on this completely wrong. So I'm saying at least 4th. And currently I'm sort of in 2nd, possibly a little bit more like 3rd. There we go. I think at the very worst I've got 2nd at this moment in time. It is another 2 laps. There we go, into 1st. Carlos Guerrero says almost 300 subscribers, Tony. Yeah, it has been a bit stagnant though in recent times. I thought we're doing the events this week. That might give me a little boost. But the last couple of days, it's like I've had a couple, and then for some reason they've disappeared. So, but yeah, getting there slowly. It's not doing too badly at all. Strangely enough, though, what I'm finding surprising is my roller coaster videos are really getting some serious views now. I've had one over 300 views, and I've had 3 as well recently with over 200. So they do seem to be complementing each other, which I kind of hoped would be the case. So I'm really looking forward to the roller coaster video that I've produced this week for Wednesday. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's on ride, but it's also multi-angle. Quite proud of that one. Well, maybe not proud, but it looks good. It's immersive, shall we say. So, yeah, keep chugging away slowly but surely. The subscriptions continue to grow, which I'm very happy about. There we go. We got a first that time. So I reckon that might even bump me up to 8 gold. Confirmation of first. Nice little bit of driving there, I thought. Not bad at all. 69 points. Oh dear. So apparently, even though I won, I only just won. So the guy in second got 92 and the guy in third got 97. Huh. How about that? So I probably haven't gone up to 8. There we go. So I am on 7. Look at that, how close I am to 8 though. So current rating 789. I go up to 8 gold if I get 6 more gold. So we've got to do it. Come on. It's doing all right up to this point. Wait for the matchmaker to do their magic. Or not, as the case may be. Oops, a daisy. Sticky mat, wet mat. Still waiting. Oh, there we go. So it is another 8-player race. They are all Morgan plus 6s though now. So this will get harder and harder to get first. And my immediate reaction is I might even end up getting 8th. Just focus on your race. Don't worry about anybody else. Is the call for today. Carry on focusing on your race, no one else's. Okay, lap 1 down and we're up into second. That's not too bad at all. Now I've got the braking right. Let's see if I can get it right again. No. And that's cost me. That's absolutely cost me. I was up into second there. Oh, now I've lost it. So now I'm trying to make up the places I've lost, and that's when the errors start. Oh, shame. Absolute shame. Yeah. Need to accept that I'm going to finish 6th, simple as. And that was because of a mistake. Otherwise I would have got second, I think. Or at the very worst, third. A Lock Goose asks, am I late today? No, no, not at all. Welcome along. Always good to see you. Um, but I made a mistake, so I only got 6, so that's not very good at all. So let's just do another one. What 75 minus 75. You nasty people, you. Let's try that again, and let's not make a mistake. It is that corner, though. I always struggle with the breaking point on that corner where I made the error. I always feel like I brake too early, and that time I braked way too late. I just can't figure out exactly where the perfect break point is. I'll get there. Come on. We need some racing. Well, it's another 8-player race. They're all Morgans now. That's it. So it's going to be down to PR or racecraft. Or a mixture of both, maybe. Come on. Okay, well, first is gone. And third is right on my tail. So I don't know if I'm going to end up finding myself, everyone's pretty close behind me. And the answer to that is yes. Yeah, just focus on your race. Well, 7th is the worst I can finish. But again, it looks like I'm going to get a negative score. It's a bit of a shame. Ah! Terrible. I just can't get that bit right. There we go, blown it again. Bar. So the reality is I'm probably of an equal speed, but as soon as I've made that mistake, it's cost me quite dearly, and obviously can't catch up. Might even fall down to 6 at this rate. Oh, come on, really? Bit of a disaster. So a lot Goo says, I hate the racers that are nearly over the second you make a mistake, while others get away with it because of faster cars. My car is as fast as it can be, though, so I think we might be done. And I'm all the way down at 5 gold. Okay, it's a shame. I believe that's the end of that for today. Yes. Okay, so we'll be back for more on that tomorrow. Shame. Didn't get to do the Dubai Autodrome Club circuit. Okay, so I did say it would be a short stream today. So the only bit of racing left, uh, although it might go on for a bit, you never know, is so here's my question. Why did it need to download anything to do with that track into here? How very strange. Is the Taycan collection having won the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT yesterday? Now, what I'm going to do, I think, is have a little bit of fun, I think. A little bit of fun. Let's have a look at what we've got. Why? Why? Okay, so that's 4 laps. So I'm tempted to hire an engineer by playing a video. Hopefully win, just to maximize the durability of this car. So fortunately, no sound. It looks like it's going to be a while though, because you can see the green line at the bottom. It's another 30-second lap. Mm. So a look goes says you have maxed it. No, no, no. The car is by default that color. I've changed now my color scheme to metallic chrome black, and also I've got new wheel hubs. So I'll show you that in a minute. Right, looks like that advert has been completed. So should get a free engineer. There we go. Put the sound back on. Yeah, so basically what I've done now, I mean, obviously I can't race this car, but if we go in here, what I've done with the cars is I've gone for the metallic chrome black, and wherever possible, I've changed the wheels. I can't do it on that car, but the wheels that I've gone for, let's see if I can do it in this car. I'm not going to change it. I don't think so anyway. Let's have a look. Oh, apparently I can. Well, let's change it then. Is the Racing Blaze wheels, but I haven't maxed this car out. It's just obviously a higher spec than the S. So as you can see there, I've got 22 out of 28 upgrades applied. What it will mean is I think I'll be able to do every single race in this series apart from the last cup, I think. All right, let's have a go. I think sometimes I end up forgetting that it's no longer a multiplayer event, and I assume I can go straight through the back of the cars. I haven't, by the way. Just that my driving isn't that good. So I'm already up into 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. There we go. 4. Have we got the horrible little corner? No, we haven't. Excellent. Right, okay. So into second. So I should win this, and that should open up the last tier, and we can have a bit of fun in terms of competing as much as we can. Stay on this tail of first. Now overtake him. There we go. Whee. So first, by the end of lap 2, 2 laps to go. So Carlos has put, just bear with me while I go around this corner, because I can't read very well while going around the corner. Sometimes in the original paint, some colours we change the colour of the wheel too. Right? I definitely think it can make the car look different. That's for sure. Mm. There we go. So we've bought back markers as well. Deary me. But I mean, the good thing is, I should be able to take this car's series up to 90, I reckon 90, either 97% or 98%. There we go. So that's a first. And that should mean opening up tier 20. I'm going to keep an eye also on my road collection percentage because I think I'm very close to going up to 69%. So there we are, 85%. We have indeed opened up tier 20, and lo and behold, tier 20 requires 70.3 PR, and the car is only at 68.4. Just going back out. So road collection still sits at 78%, but I'm convinced I'm going to get to 79 very shortly. Right, back into Taycan collection then. What to do? What to do? Let's do. How many laps is that? And why are you doing that? Why does it keep doing that? Let's just do. If does it do it again? No. What is it? Why is it downloading? No. So you're going to do it again. There you go. Let's do it all. Why is there so much data to download for a track that I'm not going to use in the game? It's bizarre. How weird. How strange. But my view on this is always download all the assets, just get it in. But it's not in the game yet. Does that mean when they add it, they're going to add the track to multiple series? So you've got to recomplete certain series. Anyway, so let's what have we got? So we've got one, two. I mean, I reckon if I did all the if I did all the engineers, of which I've got 4 left, I could probably complete this series today. My plan though is to complete it over today and tomorrow. So we'll start with the showcase stuff. So we'll do the speed record. It's Monza, it's the road course, and those that have watched me for a while know what this means because I'm going to turn around and start from well behind the start line. Because this should be a nice and easy first. Now, I haven't applied an engineer here because I reckon I've got enough durability to do these races without going into negative durability. So at the moment, I'll just apply the engineers when I'm doing the cups. Oh, made a right mess of that, but I don't think it's going to matter. I didn't need to do that because look, I've got first well before the finish line. But I always like to make sure, always like to make it absolutely guarantee that I've won, which I have. So that's another first. So Carlos Guerrera in the YouTube chat has put, I don't like to put wheels on other than the original ones. It seems that all the cars look the same in the garage. You can see my garage. Each car has its main color. Um, yeah, for me, it's just a way of showing that those cars are fully upgraded. That's all it means for me. And I've decided to move away from the garish candy to a more subtle, I say subtle, chrome. But I do like the wheels. I do like the wheels. So it does become almost like a suit the cars are wearing on my behalf. But I understand why you wouldn't like that. So Aaron C. John says, should I buy the Pagani Zonda R or the Agera R with 15% discount? Um, I, I, short answer, no. Um, I probably would save my gold and use it to win cars that are available to win. And then come back towards the end for winning for the Pagani Zonda R or the Agera R. And if I had to, I'd use a 20% discount, not the 15%. I would use the 15% discounts on cars that are going to cost you M dollars because M dollars are a little bit easier to get back than gold, if that makes sense. Um, that's what I would do. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose it depends if you've got all the cars, but if you haven't, and by you asking that question with the cars, it suggests you've probably not got a lot of cars. I would focus the gold on saving it for the events, upgrading the cars in those events, winning those cars. My understanding is once you've won that car, it does open up the series. So that should work pretty well and probably quite an efficient way of using your gold at the beginning. Once you start hitting the cars that cost gold in the Road Collection series, what I would probably do is just hold fire until potentially they become available in either a limited series where you can win the car that way or in a flashback event. That's probably what I would do. But at a push, if you seem insistent, then I would, at the very least, use the 20% discount, not the 15% discount. Right, okay, so there we go. 87% now. Now, let's have a look. I've got one, two, three, four, five races to do. So I'm going to do, I think, next the Porsche test track on road circuit, which is the short circuit. So that might be quite tough. It's 9 laps though. And again, what I'm going to do, actually, to be fair, because I have not, because I haven't fully upgraded that car, I'll just set the rims back to its original. But if I do fully upgrade it, it will be getting the fifth Guardian treatment in terms of fully upgraded cars. So into engineer. Volume down to 0, higher by playing an advert. It's a 30-second advert, easy enough to do. Carlos Guerra says, Tony, do you know how much gold a new account starts with? I don't. I don't think it's a great deal. I do think you are rewarded, and I seem to remember nowadays it allows you, it puts you straight into the motorsport side. So I think one of the first cars that you get to win is a one of the motorsports cars, and obviously through that mini event at each stage you earn gold. I think the other thing as well to bear in mind is when you start, going through a fame level is literally one race. And I seem to remember each fame level to begin with, I think you earn 3 gold, and then it's 4 and 5 and 6. Um, but you can usually do it in a couple of races, whereas obviously you get to my level and it takes literally a week of racing before you go up a level. Mm. I think the other thing to bear in mind as well is all the new series on the road collection, or rather the old series, so the amateur series, they do reward gold for when you get to 25, 50, 75, and 100%. But the cars themselves, to begin with, only cost R dollars. So that is a good way of initially building up your gold. The other thing to bear in mind as well, if you with a new account, um, and it's not applicable for me, but you have all these achievements. So very early on, everybody can earn quite a lot of achievements, and it's not a lot of gold, but it'd be 2 gold for this, 4 gold for that, 3 gold for this. So it soon adds up. But I don't think they actually start with a great deal of gold. I don't think it's a great deal. So you do have to go out and earn it. Right. I guess the volume back up. There we go. As it. Oh no, volume's still there. So we're going to do the cup in the showcase. It's 9 laps around the Porsche test track. Aaron C. John says, I think 500. I would be gobsmacked if it was 500. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if they gave you 500. So I suspect it isn't. Suppose we could find out. I'll have a look, see what search tells us. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Start with racing 3. Here we go. It doesn't give you an exact answer, but it basically says the amount of gold you start with can vary, but typically players start with a small amount of gold. Yeah. So I very much doubt it's 500. But I do also think it's quite easy to begin with to earn gold, because you don't have to spend any gold on upgrading the cars to begin with. There we go. Look at that already in first. This feels very much like its limited series. Yes, yesterday and Thursday, which frankly was mind-numbing. So I'm in first. I've got 8 laps to do. I've just got to win, and I'll have an engineer to make sure my durability doesn't go down. Whee. Bit messy. At least the GT doesn't squeal like the S when you skid. And look at that, already caught back markers. Again, I do think this is all to do with the fact that the cup that you go into, or the races that you go into, I'm convinced the cars that you're racing against, whether they are copies of human opponents or computer opponents, they're all the cars are almost like downgraded to a whatever the minimum PR is for that particular tier. So when the showcase for this car was added, it was quite early on. So that I think that's why it's so easy for me, with my car being at 68.4. I very much doubt the PR around when the showcase for this car was added. I suspect it's only around 50 PR maybe. And that's why it's so easy to A, win, and after only 4 laps, be lapping opponents. But I'm not doing particularly well around this track. Let's see if we can be a bit cleaner. The answer to that is no. Let's see if we can be cleaner. Come on. Let's be better. Look at this. Not only am I going to lap cars, I think I'm going to lap literally everyone. And some cars more than once. This is only the 6th lap. I've got 3 more laps to go after this, and I can see second just disappearing out of the straight, just going round the corner in fact. But the cars are way too slow for me. There you go. Get out of my way. Hey. There you see, there we go. Aaron C. John has just checked and he says it's 100. Now that seems so much more like it. Yes. Well done, Aaron. Aaron says he got that from looking at a video. There we go. I didn't think it would be a great deal. And again, just to confirm, Aaron says you start with 100 gold and 500,000 of M dollars. Okay, that's not bad. And 41,000. Oh no, 500,000 R dollars is it, and 41,000 M dollars. Final lap, and I've literally overtaken everybody, including second. There we go. That's the showcase races completed. Okay. 41,000 R dollars. Thank you, Aaron. Much appreciated. Uh, See, again, that would make sense because R dollars are the one thing that you can easily build up in this game. What you can't do eventually is spend them, unfortunately. Um, right, so there we go. So that is the showcase completed. The cup won there. I did have an engineer applied, so my car still has durability. Now, Carlos has mentioned a thing to do with teams, so it's a good opportunity just to break off. Uh, if I go into race teams, like, it's a shame that we don't have team competitions anymore. Real shame. But one of the couple things that you can do is if you go into the weekly time trial, you can have a look about where you stand, not only in terms of the group that you're in, but also the team that you're in. So you'll see there lots of people setting a time in my team. I haven't quite got 20 races, but that's pretty good. Now, if I look at my team, what I tend to do with my team, and you'll see there I've got 18 members. But if I notice basically people aren't racing, they're not setting times. Eventually, I will boot them out, but I give them enough opportunity. But obviously, some people pick it up. Maybe they watch one of my videos, they join my team, and then they don't race it again. So at the moment, there are two places available in my team, and if you want to join, all that you do is under leaderboard. You do a search for 100%, and my team should come top of the list. It's called 100%. 100%. In brackets, it's called 100%, and the tagline of the team is "Win Everything." And even though it's a private team, if you click View, you can click the join button, and it will send a message to me, and I will accept you into the team. Obviously, up until the team's at full strength. But what I do ask is in both the time trial competitions and the weekly time trials, you set a time. It doesn't matter if you don't have the best car, because even if you just set any time, you'll score some gold. And I would advise you do that for both the weekly time trial, the time trial competition, of which one will come out in a couple of days, but also in the the multiplayer tournament. Even if you don't own any of the cars, you are lent at least one car. Normally, that's enough to get, uh, I'd say, 4 gold. Maybe it's only 2. Um, that's what I would suggest you do. And if I go to leaderboard and I go into again, you can see people that have gone in and um, place. So there's a little bit of competition between teammates, or at least there can be, which can be a bit of fun. But to begin with, if you haven't got many cars, it's just all about, it's a good way of just setting a time. And even if you get a couple of gold, it's a couple of gold. Right, there we go. Let's go back to the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. Aaron C. John says, oh yes, Aaron C. John is Ron 5225, and yes, he's in my team. Yes, standing 6, not bad at all with the Corvette. Um, yeah, very good. Right, back into Taken Collection then. Now, what I'm going to do now, I think, is we'll have a go at doing the short races in Tier 20. So we've got a speed record. the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, even when it's not fully upgraded, is a much better car than the Taycan Turbo S. Although you'll see there what its weakest point is, which is grip. Right, what have we got to do? 153. Now, I reckon you can set a good time if you start on this track from behind, from behind the start line. So that's what I'm going to do. Start here, turn it around. There we go. And let's go. Definitely would have done that at the, there we go, you see, got first. Boom. Got first after crossing the start line. Now, I'm not sure necessarily that is the fastest part of the track, but it's a place where I always find I definitely can set the fastest speed. This seems to be close to another. But, yeah. You can do it without smashing into the barriers, though, if I just start from behind the start line. So that's what I've done, and I've got first. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. What Aaron C. John has put in the chat, and I'll show you why. What you've put's interesting, because one of the things that I was trying to understand. Let me just come out of here. Okay, there we go. So the speed record I got first. So I'm going to come out again. I'm going to go to the teams again. I go to the team members. Is it the team? No, I don't want to go to the team members. I want to go to the time trial and have a look at my team's leaderboard, because this is quite interesting. I did wonder why it had done that. So Aaron C. John has put, I deleted my original count and started the current one. What I find interesting, if you see here, Ron5225 doesn't have a 100% next to it, and that normally determines the team you're in. So what that suggests to me is, obviously your previous account was called Ron5225, and you used that account to join this team. You've deleted that name, and then you've created a new account with the same name. But you see there, even though it appears in my team, it doesn't appear with 100%. Now, here's another example that's a bit quirky as well. You see John R there in 11th place. Now, I'm assuming that John is a member of two different teams. So I'm assuming John is a member first of OXCH and then joined 100% a little bit later. So yeah, just some weird quirky stuff in the team section within Real Racing 3. Right, back to Taken Collection, 90%. Actually, let me just have a... Road Collection still at 78%. I reckon that's going to go up to 79% very soon. Going to do... I'll do a head-to-head and then finish off with a cup. And then in tomorrow's stream, I'll do the cup and the time trial. So Carlos says, so Aaron says, sorry, I changed my name after making the new one. And Carlos says, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that until now. Yeah, I've obviously got too much time on my hands, haven't I? That is about to change. Now then, not in first. So let's see if I can get first. I'll get him here in this corner. Maybe not. No. Ooh, it's a bit tough, this one. There we go. Oh, I've lost it again. Just got to keep the car going. Go, go, go. I'm only 8 yards ahead. Oh dear. Keeping him behind. There we go. So Carlos says, did I see the F1 qualifying and sprint? I saw the highlights. I think it's going to be a very interesting year. I'm not convinced at this stage that Ferrari are going to challenge. um, Carlos says tomorrow the race starts at 4 a.m. here in Brazil. Well, do you know what? It doesn't start much earlier in the UK. Normally, though, to be fair, I'm a early riser. So in the UK, it starts at 7 a.m., which is fine because I'm normally up at 5. I might occasionally have a lie-in on a Sunday, but I'll definitely well, I'll definitely be seeing the highlights. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah, I think it's 7 a.m. It's on in the UK. Um, Yeah, what I was going to say is it's quite interesting because I reckon the most consistent racer at this point is Verstappen. So even though he doesn't have the fastest car, he seems to have the best racecraft. So my money's actually on Verstappen to win it again this year. Not that I've put money on it, but if I was a betting man, and the reason being is he's obviously a little bit older than Norris, so he's got a little bit more experience, and I do think experience counts in most things eventually. Um, and so, like for example, this weekend so far, Norris has made quite a few mistakes, which is to be expected. In the same way, last weekend, um, the other McLaren driver made a few mistakes, whereas Verstappen has pretty much been consistent throughout. So I think Verstappen won't win many races, but I do think he'll get many podiums, and that might be enough for him to be champion by the end of the year. Um, I think Ferrari are going to be hit and miss, unfortunately, which is Ferrari all over at this moment in time. But we'll see. It will make for a very interesting race. I think the other thing to note as well is it will be a little bit like the second part of last year when you have a multitude of winners. So I don't think it's going to be a case of one team or one driver dominates. I think you're going to see lots of different winners of Formula One Grand Prix. Carlos says he can adapt better to the car than Lawson. Well, Lawson has it all against him, I think, because that car is definitely built for Max. And any other driver that's gone into it. So Perez did okay, but in the end he struggled with the car. Albon struggled with the car. They've all struggled with the car because I do believe it's set up for Max, and I think Max has a very unique driving style compared to all the other drivers. And I think also when you're a rookie as well, so on top of improving your racecraft and just learning about Formula One cars, he's then on top of that got to deal with how the car is set up. So I think there's a big technical element that team in terms of the driver understanding how he needs his car set up for it to work for him. And again, I think a lot of the rookies won't necessarily have that experience because it's their first year in Formula One. But I do think it's going to be a very interesting year. Now, interestingly enough, I've actually the car is almost at negative durability, so maybe I'm not going to get a cup in. I'm not going to risk it. I do have tomorrow, so in tomorrow's stream, what I will do is the cup in tier 19 and the cup in tier 17. And what I'll do is I'll finish off with the time trial. Yeah, that'll be my last race for today. Uh, Carlos Guerrero says, "Did you see last week that Hadja spun on the presentation lap?" Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a bit embarrassing, unfortunately for him, but he seems to have recovered very well in this week, though. I mean, I'll tell you what's surprising. There are a lot of rookies in this year as well. And I think it's, I don't think it's, think it is unusual to have so many rookies enter Formula One in, the same season. There's a Trivial Pursuit question for you. What's the maximum number of rookies that have entered a Formula One season? I don't know the answer to that, but it's an intriguing question because I reckon this year will be up there as the most. I'm glad to see Williams doing well though. I'd like to see Carlos Sainz do a lot better than what he's doing at the moment. But it's good to see that Williams seem to have quite a serious improvement in terms of their car. Lucy Gamer enters the chat and says, "Hey, bro, I'm from India. Welcome along. Welcome along indeed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for saying hi in the chat." Right, so there we go. That is the end of the racing that I'm going to do today. We'll service the car. It will be back. Tomorrow. As I said, I'll do the cup in tier 17 and the cup in tier 19. I won't be able to do the cup in tier 20 because the car doesn't have a high enough PR. But I reckon that will take this series to 98%, which isn't too bad. If we come out, season 4 there, as you saw, is up to 93%. So we've moved that on a notch. Road collection overall still sits at 78%. So as I said, I'll do the Taycan collection in tomorrow's live stream. In addition, I'll have another go at. In fact, I think we can have another go because we've still got some durability. So it's not over. We'll do a couple of races with that car in the weekly time trial. But in tomorrow's stream, we will obviously come back to the online multiplayer tournament. So back into the weekly time trial. I'm not convinced I can probably set a faster lap. But yeah. So Aaron C. John says, "I'm planning to get that Porsche." Yeah, you see, I personally think at the moment, if you've got gold, it's better spent winning car like the Porsche Taycan. Yes, it is expensive, but then you haven't had to buy it. And once you've won it, you've got those upgrades forever. Then what I wouldn't do is apply. Once you've won it, though, don't apply any more upgrades until there's um, a discount on the upgrades. And probably for yourself, if you're relatively new to the game, I think my attitude would be overall to stay away from discounted upgrades and really focus on winning cars in the events. Because effectively, each update you'll have a number of new cars and then a number of flashback series. And if you are relatively new to the game, most of those flashback series will be with cars that you don't own. So there'll be plenty of opportunity to win cars. And I do think that's a more efficient way of using gold. And as you see there, I'm 2 seconds behind, but at least I didn't go off track. But it's probably to do with the fact that I'm yapping too much. Aaron C. John, though, does have some good gold. He says, I've got 1900 gold, needs to spend some. Well, true, because you don't earn interest on it. So there's no point in keeping loads of it. But I would say, although you've seen me take my gold down to 0, I kind of do that for entertainment value in the stream, really. Uh, as a general rule, I would always try to keep my gold above 1,000. That's what I used to do before I started live streaming. Obviously, um, I took my gold all the way down to 0 because I spent all that gold getting big discounts, getting the cars that had big discounts, upgrading them to 100% and opening up their exclusive series. I think for yourself, I wouldn't worry about exclusive series. I'd just worry about winning the cars and opening the normal series. And then once you've got more cars than what you haven't got, then maybe when a um, an update comes along, it might be a case of the flashback series you've already got the cars, and so then you can start focusing of the gold that you're earning on a regular basis, putting that into discounted upgrades, taking those cars to 100% that have an exclusive series. So Aaron C. John says, so the Porsche. Yes, I think so, but just bear in mind it costs about 370 gold, and I think it costs well just under 1.6 million R dollars. So just bear that in mind. But obviously, once you've won that, you can then compete in the series that you see in competing in. Right, there we go. So that looks like the end of racing now for sure. That car is serviced. I haven't improved my time trial, but it is in D, which I think is okay, bearing in mind I've only got 21 out of the 28 upgrades. And typically where I sit normally is if I had a fully upgraded car, I'd probably get into Group C. So to get into Group D, only being 1.35 seconds away from Group C with a car that's got 21 out of 28 upgrades, for me, I don't think that's too bad. And it will mean I get 25 gold, that's fine. Okay, so tomorrow will be a similar time. It will be round about 4 p.m. It might be a bit later, but what I'll be doing is the online multiplayer event. We'll go have another attempt at the time trial. Why not? Doesn't mean we will be better, but you've got to keep having a go. If nothing else, to consolidate my position in D. And obviously, finally, what I'll be doing is in Road Collection, in Season 4, I'll be looking to take the Taycan collection as far as I can, which I think will be 2 cup races to 98%. So that's what's in store tomorrow. And then on Monday, I'll be doing the Valor Among Racers. Now, Aaron C. John has got 1,900 gold. I haven't quite got as much as him, but I do have 1,753, and I do think that will keep me in good stead to attempt to complete and win the Aston Martin Valo, and then later on in the week I'll do the Turbo Fury. So I think I've got that scheduled for Thursday in an attempt to win the Zenvo Aurora Tour. So yeah, keep an eye out for those streams. There we go. End of the racing for today. Let me see if I can find my mouse. There it is. Let's take the game off screen and mute the audio. Aaron C. John says, I feel like the Taken GT will be featured in future time trials or multiplayer. Uh, I have no doubt it will be. I think that is a good call. Ah, right. Okay. So Aaron C. John says, I only have 1.8 million R dollars. So that is enough. And I think it was yourself that commented because the limited series for the Taken GT, Taken Turbo GT, are very long. You almost earn the amount of R dollars back. So that's enough to win the car. And just partaking and completing the limited series will most likely earn you the majority of the R dollars back. And there we go. So Turing Hufnig has put upgrades of freeze for Valar. All right, is 1.6, well, 1,577,800 R dollars and 379 gold. So you're telling me I might have enough? I might have enough. I might be able to do it on Monday, so long as I've got the sufficient racecraft. I mean, again, what I find is I believe that event on Monday is a minimum PR event, not a recommended. And I do find the minimum PR events a little bit easier. So fingers crossed, I'll be okay. Yep, yep, very good. Mm. Excellent. There we go. Right. So hopefully, let me just make sure my stream's okay. Yeah, it's saying it's all good. Right. As I said, a little bit more laid back today, as will be tomorrow's stream. Just ready for the build up into next week and two events and one limited series. If you've enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up or a like. If you'd like to see more of this type of content, then please subscribe to the Fifth Guardian on YouTube or follow the Fifth Guardian on Rumble. Okay, right. With that being said, thank you to everybody that's watched and commented in the chat. Very much appreciated. I hope, in terms of what's left of your day, it's a very good one. I hope you all enjoy the F1 in the morning. Um, and I hope that I see you again for tomorrow's stream, which on YouTube will be round about 4 p.m. and therefore on Rumble will be round about 10 p.m. ish. Okay, so until then, thank you and goodbye.